with another installment of Are They Worth the Hype? And I really wanted to do this video as soon as possible because I don't know if you guys have heard the hysteria behind the Hourglass Ambient lighting blushes. These blushes came out I don't know, maybe a week ago. And so they first came out on the Hourglass website, and there was like this huge mystery behind them. Hourglass on Instagram and Twitter started to release like secret pictures, like black and white pictures where you could just see the shadow of like the compact. And they were like, ooh, what's this new item we're going to come out with? And so everyone was super curious. And when they said they were going to be blushes, I don't know if you guys are on the same boat as me, but one of my favorite makeup items are blushes. I don't know why. Blushes just drive me crazy. I have like a ton of blushes. I love blushes. I think they're so beautiful. You know, and so when people found out that they were blushes, everyone just lost their minds. So they released it on their website first, and then about 2 days later, Sephora release them online only for their VIB customers. So if you're a beauty insider at Sephora, if you're a beauty insider at Sephora, they kind of from time to time send you a notification that says, you know, here's a preview or a sneak peek or a pre-launch for you guys to take advantage. So when I found out that they were going to do a pre-launch of the Hourglass blushes, I got really excited. And of course, I may have purchased 3. So these blushes retail for $35. They're not going to be available at Sephora's or no, not Ulta. Ulta doesn't sell Hourglass, right? No, they're not going to be available in stores until the end of February. I think like February 21st, February 20th. That last week in February, that's when these are coming out at Sephora's. And I really think, I have a really strong feeling in my gut that these are going to be those items that people are going to be waiting at the door when Sephora opens to get them. I think there's 6 different colors, 6 or 7, or maybe even 8 different colors, and they came out to kind of pair up with the ambient powders, ambient lighting powders. So Hourglass has these powders that are really super finely milled. They give you like a luminous effect, or they give you candlelit lighting effect. So they're supposed to give you different types of lighting on your face. You can use certain of these powders for under your eyes for, you know, brightness. You could use some of them on your forehead to kind of blur out lines. So they're powders that you're supposed to kind of scientifically use to highlight or mask areas of your face. Me personally, you guys know this is my channel. It's always my opinion and what has worked for me. I don't have troublesome skin. I don't have a lot of blemishes that I want to hide. I don't have a greasy T-zone, none of that. I tried to use the ambient powders and I didn't like them. I thought they were too powdery. They're just so finely milled, almost like baby powder. And I would put them on and I didn't really notice the difference. I tried them for highlighting. You know, I tried them to set my concealer. I tried them in certain areas like the Mood one. It's almost like a lavender, purplish, mauvey color. I tried that for my contour area. I couldn't figure them out. I didn't like them. I'm not a fan. But when the blushes came out, you guys know I'm a blushaholic, so I had to bite the bullet. And I can't really tell you how I feel about them. You guys know my opinion is always very yes or no, like on it. And for these, I'm kind of like, eh. If you were to say, gun to your head, are they worth the hype? I would say no, because they're $35 a piece. But I know my intros are very long, so let me bring you guys in closer to kind of give you a close-up of these blushes. So the blushes come in just a metallic box like this. It's like a pewter and antique gold kind of box. They are smaller than the powders themselves. I think these are about 1/3 the size of the powder, so you don't get that much product, and they are $35. So I think the most I've paid for a blush is $30. So $35 is kind of pushing it. And for $35, you better wash my dishes. You know what I mean? So the first color that I got, it's called Mood Exposure, and I'm wearing that today. I do have a contour. I think I contoured with the Kevyn Aucoin sculpting powder, so that's like a taupe-ish gray. But on top, I do have this blush, and this is kind of what it looks like. It's a marbleized powder blush. The two colors you see, the darker color is the blush color. The lighter color is the actual ambient lighting powder. So if you go to Sephora and you buy Mood ambient lighting, so the Mood ambient lighting powder, it's the lighter color. So that's kind of what's marbled into each of these blushes. And that's what I have on my cheeks today. I thought it was going to be like a mauvey kind of color, but you can tell it shows up a little bit more pink on my cheeks. The next one that I got is Luminous Flush. And this one goes, again, it does have the pink color that you see is the color of the blush, and then the lighter color that's swirled in or marbled in is the luminous lighting. And then the third one that I got is Radiant Magenta, Radiant Lighting. So the pink that you see, don't mind the beast swatches that I already did on it, can you tell? My beast finger was in there. So the pink that you see is the blush, the swirled in powder, the lighter one, is a Radiant Lighting. So I'm not going to swatch this one for you guys because I am wearing it on your cheeks, or on your cheeks. I'm wearing it on my cheeks. This is the Mood Exposure, I believe. But this one is really, really pretty. Of the three, this is definitely my favorite. And let me swatch this guy for you. See what happens when you swatch it? It just kind of swirls into a giant mess. And I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's a little bit powdery. Obviously, when you use a brush, it'll be a little bit different, but it is a little powdery. And there's a swatch for you guys on the bottom of under my arm. You guys know my swatches are really awesome. So there's a swatch of that one. Again, this one is called Radiant Magenta. And then the other one, not the one that I'm wearing, the third one is called Luminous Flush. And that is like a champagne pink color. So you can see, look at how the marbling looks. And then when I swirl my finger in it, when I swirl my beast finger in it, look at what happens. Can you guys see that? It kind of mixes up and then you get a lot of powder. This is what it looks like. It's kind of like a dusty pink. This one doesn't translate too well on the skin, especially if you are of a darker skin tone than me. I'm light to medium with neutral to yellow undertones, and this one hardly shows up on my skin. So there they are side by side. The one on top is the one that's in my hand right now, which is Luminous Flush. The one on bottom is Radiant Magenta. Let me swatch the third one, just to be safe. I'm gonna swatch the last one, the one that's on my cheeks. I decided to swatch it after all because you guys know it looks different on the skin, and then I am wearing a highlighter and a contour powder. So again, when you swatch it, the marbling kind of goes away. That's what it looks like on my finger. And then this is what it looks like swatched on the skin. That's this color over here. So it's a really pretty neutral color. I just was expecting it to translate like this on my skin, more of like a mauvey pink, but it just shows up like a pinky pink. And my contour isn't pink, and my highlight isn't pink. So I guess it depends on the lighting you're in. It depends on your skin tone, the foundation you're wearing. But again, these are 1/3 of the size of the powders. The powders I think cost almost $50 or $52. They're pretty expensive, almost like Bobbi Brown prices. The blushes are $35, and they won't be available at Sephora's until the end of February. So what's the final verdict on these blushes? Are they worth the hype? The Hourglass Ambient Lighting Blush. My honest opinion is for $35, like I told you guys, I expect you to show up at my house, buy me dinner, wash the dishes, and look really, really awesome on my cheeks. But they are pretty, but I have blushes that I like more that don't have a $35 price tag. Not to mention that these blushes last, I would say, 5 hours at the most on my skin. And normally, like I told you guys, I don't have troublesome skin, I don't have oily skin. Normally products last me a good 8 to 10 hours. I don't know, they just cling to my skin. I use primers, you guys know my routine. And these don't. They're just so soft and just fine that I don't know where they go. They just vanish. So I just put this on maybe an hour ago, so we're still looking good, but I know that in a couple hours, maybe 5-6 hours, they're basically gonna be gone. And that sometimes has a lot to do with the foundation you're wearing or the primer, but because I'm wearing a foundation and a primer that I always use and I never have issues with, I'm certain to say that it is the blush. This blush, I would say, is for someone that really likes luxury high-end products, that enjoys spoiling themselves, that likes those really silky soft powders, and that doesn't need something to wear for 8 to 10 hours. But overall, are they worth the hype? Probably not. And as always, all the information, what I'm wearing, what's on my lips, my nail color, all of that stuff will be listed in the description box below, including where you guys can buy these blushes now. And I think that's it. Please remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, this coffee break is over. Bye guys.